Hello guys, welcome back once again. Over the recent years we've had a slew, and I mean a slew of, basically what is considered aftermarket consoles that basically play Super Nintendo. You want to talk about obviously the Super Retro Trio, you want to talk about Retron 5, the Super Boy, a bunch of alternatives to play Super Nintendo games if you want to. Obviously at varying degrees of success. Like some are really good at it, some are not, that kind of thing. But if that wasn't enough for you, if you want a Super Nintendo handheld, the Pocketgame Hamy basically has now arrived, and it's via Chinese retailer online. Basically, this system, very little is known about this system. Basically, just the photos and the product, and basically the product doesn't even show anything working. It just shows games like Street Fighter 2 plugged into it, and obviously Super Mario World. It doesn't actually show the system on in any way. It basically, shows that it's going to have like AV cables to it, and again, but it does supposedly support 16-bit controllers. There is an actual place to hook up a 16-bit controller, so you're going to be able to do that. You're going to have a power supply and an AV out connection, so there you go. But we have no idea how well this device performs, or how the control responds to it. Again, this is a machine emulating a machine. So this is basically emulating a Super Nintendo. It does not have the original parts in it. That much we're pretty sure know. Again, this thing is only going to cost $109 US. Standard shipping seems to be free for this. Again, that's up to you if you want to take a risk and spend $109. Does this work? Again, it's cool that this was made. The question is, how well does it perform? And that's always the question with any system. Any system that plays the old games that you want, that does not have the original hardware, how well does it run? Or what games does it run well? Because nothing runs the games like as well as the original hardware. It's in the console. So, the question is, well, you want to take a chance. Again, the buttons are the classic 4 colors of Super Nintendo buttons. It obviously has a D-pad on the left side, a little speaker under on the left side. The start select buttons are on the right side underneath the buttons, and of course a screen to display the games. But again, we've not seen the games working on it. We just know this is up for sale. Obviously it's an unofficial console. So what do you think about this? Do you think it's cool that like the Pocketgame Hamy was made, but you're skeptical? Like I'd be skeptical only because like we haven't seen it running. And like anything that comes out, you kind of gotta wait to early reports. Does this thing run really well? Or is this like a cheaply made thing that doesn't run games very well? That's the risk of buying any of these consoles that emulate your favorite console. Not that there isn't anything cool with them, not that some don't work really well, but you never do know until you get it and try it out. And again, this is cool that it's happening, but I wonder how long it's going to be before we actually get, like, how we have the multi-console consoles. I wonder how long it's going to be before we have the multi-console handheld, right? Hey, you can plug the Super Nintendo on top. You can plug another Game Boy Advance on the bottom, whatever. I wonder how long before we get one of those. Anyway, what do you guys think of this? Are you interested in it? Are you not interested at all? You kind of worry about it because there's, again, you don't see no pictures of it playing at all. The price at $109 makes you wonder, well, that's an awful cheap price for this kind of thing. Prices do play with you mentally when you're like, okay, there's a point where this is too cheap in your mind. You're like, when you think of stuff, you're like, well, maybe this is too cheap. Like, how can they do it with this price? What's on the inside of this thing? So anyway, glad to hear your guys' opinions like always. I'll make another video soon. Later, guys.